I was able to get my port placement scheduled. It's early February, the day after I have my endoscopic ultrasound for my pancreas to try to figure out what's going on there. So that's going to be a really fun time recovering from both. And then I guess after I recover from the port placement, I'll be having my gum graft surgery there at the end of the month. So I'm ready for it to be April already. Today was already hard getting the placement scheduled, and especially it's being so soon. I got it for the day that I wanted, but it's already starting to trigger my trauma, and I'm worried about the recovery period for both surgeries, with the pain and the length. And I've been talking to others, especially about the port placement. So if you have any tips for the recovery period, I am all ears. Hopefully I don't have to have it accessed time in February. And I'm hoping that I won't need an infusion again until March. I actually will see my hematologist a week after the port placement. So we'll see how I do then, since I just got done having infusions. But it's just kind of a lot right now. And having 2 surgeries in 1 month, it's just kind of triggering right now. That's it is update. I'm home, I'm cleaned up, I have all the orange alcohol, and I think most of the adhesive off for my port placement today. And it went so much better than I was anticipating. I had no idea what to expect, really. I mean, people tell you their experiences and the process and everything as best they can, but until you go through it, you don't quite know how your body's going to react or things like that. And because I was awake during it, so my fear was that it was going to hurt during that time. And then I also was worried about the recovery period. And granted, it's just, I don't even know if it's 2 hours old right now. But this is what it looks like now. It's starting to show the bruising. But they gave me 3 doses of the medicine that they give you, because after the second one, I wasn't feeling relaxed enough, and I was concerned about that. And so the doctor said, okay, give her another one. And then after that, I was like, okay, I do feel relaxed. And they gave me the lidocaine shots, and those weren't terrible. What was the most painful part was the meds that they put in your IV, and those were not the worst that I've ever had as far as like the burning sensation. And it was weird because like it would burn a little bit or some, and then it would stop, and it would do it again and stop, and it would do it again. And so the second dose, that one didn't burn very much at all. The first one did, and then the third time, like that one I think burned the most, or like at that point I was like the most over the burn. But the nurses and the doctors in there were great. They were really good to me. I had one especially that, because I got triggered, because if I'm wheeled into an OR looking room, that's a trigger for me. Granted, I don't like have a major freak out or meltdown, but I do start to get kind of anxious, and I start crying, and it's not even like a sobbing cry. It's just kind of a, typically. And at my US yesterday, I started crying, and I think they all thought that I was worried about the procedure itself and all that, and I didn't, correct them or anything. They were all really sweet and everything, but like, no, it's just a trigger. It's too familiar, because like when I go for my scopes, like it's in a different part of the hospital, so like their own ward, and I walk down to the room. It's not super OR-y feeling, and so I'm comfortable with that. But then you put me back in an OR-like room, wheel me in there like all the other previous surgeries, and it's a little too familiar for me. But anyway, so they were really good. And this one, I think he was a nurse. He was so sweet though, because he was like, don't hide it. get all your tears out. You can scream or cuss or anything that you need to do. We're all used to it. We understand. This is a completely normal response that you're having to something like this. And it was really sweet how he was wanting to make sure I felt comfortable and everything. But it went good. And then, so I'm home, and they said, like, I should, obviously it's going to have some soreness. Shouldn't last more than 3 days. It'll take about 2 days for it to heal up. Then I can take a shower. I can't soak or swim or anything for a week, they said. They said, like, if I get soreness, ice pack and like Tylenol for it. And I got some bags of frozen peas and frozen corn because another short bowel syndrome, a rock star in here, had recommended that. That's what they do when they have their ports placed or replaced. And I didn't know what to expect, so I never had a port placed. I tried to get one placed in high school because I was going in like every month for fluids, and I was having all these tests and everything. And that was during after my reversal, and I was near death on a pretty constant basis for a long time there. And I was just getting so triggered by all of it and everything. It was a very re-traumatizing time for me. And funny story, I called my surgeon and said, I want a port place. And he was like, sure, that's fine. So he schedules it. Well, at some point, he evidently told my pediatric GI doctor, and she canceled it. And I was livid with her. Because you remember, like, when I first got her, I blamed her for things, and so I hated her. And she knew that. And then as I got older and started processing some things and went to counseling and everything, and I realized she does everything. She did everything she could for me, and none of this was her fault. And I had no justification to blame her for anything or be mad at her. And so I let go of that, and we became very close. And I was always one of her, like, special patients, because she had been with me so long and all the things. And anyways, so I was livid that she canceled my port placement surgery the day before. I was supposed to go in on a Monday, and she canceled it on a Sunday, and she called me, and I was just like livid. And she said, let me just explain. Please come to the office and talk to me. And I said, fine. I will come to and talk to you one time. And then I'm changing doctors. Well, she didn't want me to get the port placed because of risk of infection. And she was like, let's just give it a little bit more time. And if things don't start turning around with your absorption and everything like that, then I'll green light it. And I'm like, okay, fine. And at this point, it had been years, right? So, like, going through this for years. And so, wouldn't you know it, I had one hospitalization after that, or maybe it was like right before that. And then I didn't have to have one for a long time. I think I started going to quarterly hospitalizations instead of weekly. And it was just like, I mean, I'm glad it worked out the way it did, and I totally understood what her reasoning was and everything, and I didn't hold it against her. But she was right. Like, I just needed a little bit more time. And so, anyways, but now my veins are so bad that with my iron infusions every 2 to 3 months for 3 days in a row, I'm lucky to even get through one session without my veins blowing. In the meantime, getting multiple sticks. Like today I had 2, yesterday I had 3 sticks. They did use the viewfinder on me yesterday and today. I've never had someone use that on me before. That was kind of interesting to watch. There's like a spot on my left elbow where my veins are just like crazy. Like it looks like they start and then they stop and they don't go anywhere. And like there's just like, it's a jumbled up mess. But anyways, so things are going good so far today. Fingers crossed. I think I got all my orange alcohol and adhesive off of me. If not, Mike's going to have to clean me up again tonight because I couldn't reach all of the places yesterday. And they put ones on my back this time. So anyways, I'll keep y'all updated. day 2, I guess, after port placement. So they gave me Versed and fentanyl for the surgery. And after not being able to sleep from 7 a.m. yesterday until about 4 a.m. today, I looked at some time in between then. Does fentanyl affect your sleep? Like, how does it affect it? Well, so it said it can make you sleepy, and it can make it difficult to sleep or stay asleep. So I'm assuming that's why I couldn't sleep for like 21 hours straight. I was tired, kind of, but I couldn't fall asleep. And then, like, I'd get close to falling asleep, and then I wouldn't be tired anymore. But I finally fell asleep about 4 this morning, I think. And I slept pretty good. And what I've discovered is that, well, it's very tender now, the port side is. So, like, putting an ice pack on it really hurts. And once I get into a position, whether I'm, like, sitting up or lying down, like, after a little bit, like, it's fine. But that initial movement from sitting or, being upright to lying down, or lying down to being upright again, it feels so heavy. Like, it feels like there's just so much weighing from right there, and it hurts. Like, granted, it's not, I've definitely had worse pain, and it doesn't last terribly long. Like, less than 5 minutes, if that. The longer I'm in one position, and then especially if I'm lying down and then I sit up, the longer I'm been lying down before I get upright again, like, it is more painful then than if I'm breaking it up more. And, like, I had that thought, like, okay, I would definitely probably want a pain pill if it's going to be like this the entire time. Like, it's nonstop pain like that level, but then it dissipates. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So I can see why they just say Tylenol to take. But it's not the worst thing by far that I've experienced, and the pain level isn't. I think the worst part during the night, especially, is trying to get up and down, because I had to go to the bathroom often with my short bowel syndrome, and so sometimes that's kind of difficult when it feels like there's so much heaviness on your chest and it's hurting. But overall, I think it's doing well. I got some good sleep finally. I'm going to stay sitting up for quite a while, I think, today. So that's my update. So this is what it's looking like now. It's getting, those later healing stages of bruises. So I have my retainer and my night guards in, so I'm not taking them out. But so I have been able to go all day, during the day, morning, and up until the night, without needing any Tylenol or ibuprofen. What I like to do, from nurse friends that have told me, is I like to do 1 Tylenol, 1 ibuprofen, instead of 2 of either one. And that way, because sometimes one might work better for something, and the other one can kind of help too, and you never know. Depending on what it is, sometimes that works better. Anyways, so all day today, all day yesterday, I was able to not take any. I did at bedtime, though, because I've been using my arm a lot more normal-like and everything. So by the end of the day, it hurts more. And see, I'm still getting used to not touching this area of my body. But one thing that I've noticed that I learned is that you really need to wear a bra after a port placement, because it really helps with the pain, because, well, breasts do be heavy. And so I've been wearing I took my shower today. I waited that extra day from when they told me I could, and I did it tonight. And it was the weirdest feeling, because so before, when I wasn't wearing a bra, like that first day and a half, when I would sit up, it would be super heavy, just heavy. But then I've been wearing a bra ever since then, nonstop, except for when I took the shower. So when I took it off to take the shower, it wasn't so much like this heavy pulling feeling, but it was like it had been. Instead, it became completely like uncomfortably numb, like just the whole area, because it was just like, oh, well, we've been supported and haven't been hurting, and now you took away all our support. And it was the weirdest thing, and it lasted for like 20 minutes, and it wasn't pain, but it was very uncomfortable, because it's weird when your body goes numb when it's not supposed to. And I'm hoping, because I see the hematologist this week to find out if I need iron infusions again this month. And I'm hoping it would probably not be scheduled until the last week of March, assuming that I need them again. And then that would mean it would give it about 2 weeks healing before I would have to have it stuck, because I know you can use them right away, and they said it could be used right away online, but I cannot imagine using it right now. Like, it's still, and it's just, and I did not expect to be able to feel the tube that goes into my vein. I don't know why. I didn't expect that. I didn't think about it at all. I knew, like, you'd be able to see the port, and I could feel the port. I knew that. But for some reason, I just didn't expect the tube. Anyways, I don't know. The things that you learn. But I'm going to try to give an update after work. I also have my thyroid ultrasound tomorrow. So I'm really hoping that they are able to still do it and not go where it hurts. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to or not. And I had scheduled my ultrasound way before my port placement was even something to be thought of, and I didn't think to reschedule it, because for some reason I kept thinking, oh, they'll just do it up here, but I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that your thyroid's like actually lower. And granted too, I didn't know to expect it to hurt up here. I didn't think this well through on my planning, I don't guess, but we're gonna see. And I don't know that my GI doctor even knows that I go to port, so when I see him in the morning, he's gonna be surprised. But that's what I know so far. I'm thinking tomorrow will be pretty fine at work. I mean, I'll be using my arm a lot more, so I'm sure I'll have more soreness, but I'll be sitting up for the majority of the day and not having lie downs like I had this weekend when I've been resting and recouping. So I won't have the gravity, because I've been laying on my stomach, because when I lay on my stomach, I'm not putting pressure on this, so it doesn't hurt, but the gravity sometimes hurts. And then I was like laying on my side, and so there's gravity that way too. But then like it felt like I was being stabbed, not painfully stabbed, but it felt like wires were poking me on the inside, and I was like, okay, how do I get this to stop? And it finally did. Anyways, I'll give you an update tomorrow. So I'm home. It's been a long day. I hurt. I knew today would probably not be the easiest, going back to activity, full day since my port placement, but it's the worst I felt. But I definitely hurt. Like, all my joints hurt. Driving, surprisingly, I left turns are what surprisingly hurt. Left turns hurt. Anyway, so I'm exhausted and hurting, and I'm going to go rest until dinner time. So. It has officially been a week since my port placement surgery, and I'm doing pretty good. There's some things that I cannot do, like I could not change the bed sheet. I mean, I technically could have, but I think I would have been in way too much pain. I stripped the bed, and I was like, oh, maybe I should have had you do that. So he put the beds back together for me and everything. But here it is looking a week later. It's starting to come up a little bit, so they told me I could trim, as the steri strips come up, but I can't pull them off. But look how much that's healed up on the bruising, and it's not quite as, it's not as tender as it was. I know y'all have been telling me to use Limla cream when I have it accessed the first few times. So I talked to the doctor and everything, and not that I thought she wouldn't be okay with that, but I talked with her some of my questions and things, and so I decided I would go ahead and do that. Like, because I was thinking, if it's like the needle that they used for the lidocaine shots for the surgery, like in my chest, those didn't bother me. I mean, yeah, they weren't like, I could feel them and everything, but they didn't really bother me. And she's like, no, they're gonna be bigger than that. I was like, okay, well, maybe I should do that just in case. And I mean, I have Emla cream on hand anyways, and I can always get some more, of course, but so I thought, okay, I decided to do that. But I don't know, it's been pretty well. It's getting less and less sore by the evening time after, doing normal activities with it, and I'm not requiring Tylenol or ibuprofen at bedtime anymore, because the soreness is tolerable enough. I don't have to wear my bra 24/7 anymore because it feels fine to go without it. So I'm pretty pleased within a week how far it's come along and everything. I had a very eventful day last Friday, and I did not feel well enough to share it at the time in the form of a video, of a TikTok. I did share it on Facebook. But so Thursday night at like 10 o'clock, my incision showed infection right there. So I messaged my hematologist and told them and everything. And so I'm at work. I get a call from the hospital. I haven't checked my messages from anybody at this point, right? Because I'm working. So I missed the message in the portal from my hematologist. Said, we're going to have IR call you. Okay. Well, I wish I'd had the chance to read that before, because I get a phone call and they're like, okay, we're going to schedule your part removal. I'm like, wait, what? Like, we don't just need to look at it first? Like, we're going straight for removal? Like, I kind of panicked. And so that's how they coded it, in case that's what was needed. Makes sense. Still terrifying. I don't want to go through all of this all over again. Like, well, anyways, so they were able to get me in at noon that day. So I rush home. Dad takes me to the hospital. Mom meets us there. And I mean, literally pretty much from the second I left work until it was all said and done with, I was crying constantly, having repeated panic attacks after another, because I am like just so afraid that they're going to have to remove it, that it's going to be that infected, that they're going to have to remove it, and then I'm going to get another port place. I'm going to go through all this all over again. Mind you, the risk of an infection going straight to my heart was not what worried me at all. I mean, if you know me, that's not really the concern for me. Pain is the concern. And I know with infections and things you can get pain too, like sepsis. But I'm just saying, that's not where I was worried about. So I get there and I'm trying to check in. The lady checking me in, I don't know what her deal was. She clearly didn't want to be at work that day. But she sends me to the wrong floor. So I'm freaking out because all I know is I need to be checked in at noon. And I'm thinking that I need to be, no one told me that my appointment time was 1 o'clock. So I'm like, I've got to get there. And I'm completely, my PTSD is just completely triggered by all the possibility of another surgery upon another surgery. I haven't even used my port yet. I'm supposed to actually use it next week. Next week is when I'm supposed to use it for a lab draw with flesh. Anyways, so she told me to go to the 5th floor. And I don't know if you ever know, but like hospital elevators take forever. So I give up. I go flying up 2 flights of stairs. Well, evidently that's my max as far as where I can climb quickly and safely. So I get the rest up there, though, to the 5th floor. And I'm like, this is not the right floor. I freak out again. And so there were so many people that were so good to me, though, that day that I worked at the hospital. So anyways, like there was 2 physical therapy students, and they got someone else to come help me. And then she got someone else, and they escorted me down in the employee elevator down to the correct floor, which was the 2nd floor. And you might think that I should have known this, except I've only been to IR twice before this. So it's not one I'm completely super familiar with. Mainly, I have to go to outpatient radiology, which is different. Anyways, so I get checked in, and I'm just like freaking out. I'm freaking out to the point that I tell the receptionist that, could you give them a heads up that my PTSD is triggering? So I'm anxious and I'm scared, and can both of my parents go back there with me, because I know it says that I'm only supposed to have one. And they're like, yeah. And great. So then later I have to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom in the radiology was being used. So I went outside, and I don't see any signs for bathrooms, and I'm like, I know there's a bathroom around here. So I flagged down a lady, and again, I'm still just constantly crying. I'm just crying. And I was like, can you tell me where the bathroom is? So she escorts me to the bathroom. And this entire time, like, everybody's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I'm not even going to pretend I'm okay. No, I am scared. No, I'm not okay. So she's like, she goes, want me to stay and I'll take you back to radiology? I'm like, no, it's okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Well, she comes and finds me later in radiology. Now, I'm not a religious person, but I thought this was really sweet the way she did it. She told me that she'd be so honored if I would take this rosary from her. And then she gave me lots of words of encouragement and everything. And it was just really kind and sweet. And so I still have this rosary from this very nice lady. But yeah, so they were all great. So then the doctor, he looks at it and he goes, okay, I think the way it looks and everything, I don't think it's penetrated the capsule. So I think that you just need antibiotics. But if it gets worse, it starts looking worse, then you call our on-call number and we'll get it scheduled to take the port out next week, which is now this week. I'm like, oh my God, okay. So, and he told me, he was like, what we would do is we would wait for that to heal all up, and then we would put a new port on the other side. So that would mean, another surgery, right? 2 more surgeries. But, so he started me on Bactrim, and I'm taking it twice a day for 2 weeks. And so far, it's not looking worse. There hasn't been any more pus. Everything's looking fine. Oh, and he told me, which I asked him too, like, he said it's normal that I feel as if there's wires poking me from the port, because it's building up that scar tissue to surround it and everything, and that's normal. It goes away after a few months. I'm like, okay. Just making sure, because I was like, I just assume that's probably part of it. So, and it wasn't that bothersome. I just have to kind of push it and kind of, so I was like, I didn't really feel the need to bring that up, but then, now I have an infection. So, and then I also had accidentally pulled a stitch out at work, because there was, the scab was stitch, and I was determined to get the scab off because it was bugging me, and out came a stitch. And he was like, no, that's okay too. I'm not worried about that. I'm like, okay, good. So I'm missing some. I still have a ton of those ibuprofens that she prescribed me. So I took one of those and slept, because I was just exhausted Friday after all of that mess. But I think things are okay, and it's keeping me calm enough that I'm okay right now. And then I will go back to EMDR this week and process what happened Friday. Oh my gosh, it's just never ending. But fingers crossed. So I hit my threshold with my anemia. The pain and the weakness got to me. I did not realize that increased thirst is a sign of severe anemia. I didn't know that. Because I've been drinking a lot of water, which is good for me, but I need to do that more often. But yeah, so I started having trouble washing my hair because holding my arms up, this high is so, it just made my arms really weak and really hurt. And so I was like, okay, yes, Mike will help me wash my hair. He's helped with my bathing and my shaving my legs for me whenever I need it and type of things. And when I can't do it myself, but, it's nice to not have to rely on someone to do that if we can. So I did message my hematologist and I said, hey, can you move my labs from Monday to yesterday? And so I got my labs yesterday, and of course I qualify for infusions now, but I used my port for the first time, and fortunately I had one of the nurses at the infusion center that is aware of me and my trauma, so she knows how I am, and I knew, I would like my port once I started using it. I knew that the first time would be the worst mentally, and it would get better after that. I did my Imla cream like you all suggested. Glad I did. She walked me through everything. She was really great with me. They're all great up there. And I didn't even feel the needle. Of course, I had my Imla cream on for 3 hours because that was when I could put it on. Because, they recommend putting it on for an hour before. And if I didn't put it on when I did, I wouldn't have gotten to had that long. But so it went great with the lab draw, the flush, and everything. So I messaged my doctor this morning, and I said, okay, can we go ahead and order my iron infusions, and I'll see you at my next appointment next week. So they put in the order. I'm just waiting for insurance approval. They're moving the place where the actual infusion is now, and they're going to put me on a different iron this time. So I'm hoping that maybe this will work better for me, even better than what I've been doing, right? I've been doing the Vinifer. I used to do Ferraheme, but the cost of it got too much. So I got switched to Vinifer. And I did say I would be willing to go back to the Ferraheme and see what it came out to as the copay, since it is a different facility. So we will see. I don't know what the iron is that I'm on. I didn't ask, and they just said that they'll follow up with me at my appointment on Monday. So I'm not really worried about it. I haven't had any reactions to any iron, so I'm not concerned about which one it is, really. But I will find out. And so, yeah, so I'm looking forward to my iron infusions. It's so much better than IVs. I knew it would be better than IVs, but it was just that first time. And I had such a hard time kind of with the recovery of it. It wasn't like a terrible recovery, but I just had so much going on that was triggering my trauma. And then every little thing with it triggered my trauma. And so it was just a tough time. And I'm really glad that I was able to not have it access the day of or the next day of having it placed, like how a lot of patients need to with their chemo and other situations too. But I couldn't imagine having my port accessed when it's that fresh. I just couldn't, because it was just that sounds terrible. And I thought it was interesting that the nurse offered to use the numbing spray, the Emily spray. But I was like, okay, I'm just, let me try it this way. And I was like, I might scream. And she's like, okay. And I didn't. I was like, okay, so much better. So I'm really looking forward to my iron infusions. I kind of always look forward to them because I know I feel so much better after them. But I'm really looking forward to them now because it's going to be so much easier on me. So hopefully I'll have them next week. But if not, it should be the week after. So I'm feeling good about it. I can do it. I can make it through. And I'm going to find out, I think with this next one, with being able to get the full and the new one, we'll be able to start figuring out what my body is actually needing on time-wise, because it's been all over the place. So I feel like we're getting closer to figuring it out, since I had to change from my old hematologist who went to a different system completely that I couldn't go to, and started with this one. So fingers crossed.